Today, we're going to be meeting with Jared from the party last week that was for Deng's birthday. We're going to go and meet him at a bar we haven't been to yet called Biolab, and we're going to find out his experience of Siem Reap, Cambodia as a whole, in the last 15 years that he's lived here. So come along with me. Let's go, buddy. So if you're going anywhere in Siem Reap, you have multiple options. You can rent a bike from $6. You can buy yourself a bike from around $100. Hi, Christian. That's Christian. He's a software developer at the hostel. He just got me to check out his website. It's looks crazy professional, really good. So hopefully that all goes really well for him. We might find out if we come back here, staying for around a year. Other options for travel: you can get a tuk-tuk. It's about $1, or it's 75 cents from our hostel into town, and we're kind of on the edge of town, so it's crazy cheap to travel around. But personally, I like to walk around because I like to get a mental map of where I am. Just in times of like when you get lost, it's a lot easier to find your way again if you kind of know where you're at. Whereas when you're on a bike, I don't feel like it really, you don't take as much in. So that's why I like to walk most places when I'm away. It does mean you get a hella sweaty back, which has just reminded me. I learned from Christine. She didn't tell me, but I just noticed she always single straps her bag so that she doesn't get an insanely sweaty back. Just coming down to the river here, I've actually just searched so that I could tell everybody what the river is called in the town of Siem Reap. Turns out it's called the Siem Reap River, so I can't look like I was really smart and just knew that off the bat. Last time I visited Angkor Wat, I assumed that the whole place was dry because the waterways had changed over. Hey, Sustai. Nice guys by the river, chilling, having some food. Yeah, I thought that the waterways had changed, but it turns out we were there in the dry season, so this time we might get to see it wet. And this is sort of newer architecture, but in the old style, because there's some old wooden bridges that are coming down a little bit. Well, not really. They're just a bit disrepaired because so much money has flowed into the town in the last 20 or so years that the infrastructure's got a lot better, and they've been popping up bigger, better, concrete bridges rather than these wood ones. There hasn't been one day here yet where it's not just been an absolutely beautiful day. It is very warm. As we know, Jack hates the cold, and I'm getting used to the heat, so it's great. I am going to have to get a little bit of a jog on because I planned my walking time, but I didn't think about filming, so that's a lesson here, just to allow, I don't know, half the time again to get some filming done while we're going. So hopefully I'm not late. We want to be as polite as possible with Jared, seeing as he's our first kind of formal interview. If Google Maps is right, I'm very close to Biolab Cafe now. It seems like I'm wrong. This is a school. You notice I'm walking in the shady side. It's usually the best bet, unless you're really after a suntan. If you're desperate for a suntan, you're here for 2 weeks because you've seen how cheap everything is and how lovely all the people are, then by all means, walk in the sun, get a tan. Why not? I really think it's on this corner coming up. I hope so. Doesn't look like it. Nope. Nuts. Excuse us for a short break while Jack checks his Google Maps. Right, apparently I walked past it. I'm sorry if anybody's watching this saw it on the camera and was screaming in my ear. I can't hear you. Screaming that I missed it, but I couldn't see it. It's got to be close. Oh, I literally walked straight past it. It's right there. So it's inside. That seems weird.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. Eggs Benedict for $3.50 at this quality. You can't go wrong. It's just great. I can't lick it. I'm in too posh of a place.
Hey man, how are you?
Xông lên cả đoạn mấy đó, thốn áo. Caramel, thốn áo.
I'm here with Jared, who I met at a party, it was about a week ago now, wasn't it?
Gosh, that was a slightly blurry night. Yes, yeah. Tieng's birthday party.
I wanted to talk to you because you told me that night, one of the only things I remember is that you've been here for 15 years. Is that in Siem Reap?
itself?
I've been screwing up the math on that. I've been saying 15. It is actual 14. I am the biggest liar ever, and I apologize for that.
Okay, so Jared's information given to us does
Right.
not reflect
Right.
the information of the channel. This is Jared's own.
Yes, and I do not promise not to lie again.
Okay.
I've been here for 14 years, and the last 5 of them have been in Siem Reap.
I wanted to speak to you because I felt like you'd have a really valuable insight into how the country's going, because it's been 14 years and you've been boots on the ground, you've been here.
Right.
So, in your own words, what would you say in a nutshell? Is it going well?
Life is definitely getting better for most people. You're seeing developments in infrastructure, education, availability of medical services.
That was the main thing I wanted to talk about. I should have considered more questions. I'm sorry that I'm terrifically unprofessional, but you're my first interview, so.
That's
yeah.
okay.
I did do one very drunk at the party, but here's a clip.
Oh, magazines!
Okay. It's too loud, as you can tell.
Well, I am honored. I am honored that you decided to talk to me.
Cheers.
Really kind of cool.
What made you come out to Cambodia in the first place?
I came here to do work on my PhD in anthropology.
Yes, I remember.
Eventually, I realized that academia was not for me, and I was definitely not for academia. And we parted ways amicably. Since then, I've been doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and now I lead food tours. I am the best staff member. I've won Employee of the Month for every month for the last 5 years.
There you go. So he's the real boss. Yeah.
No, I'm not. I didn't tell him that.
I'll make sure I put that there. You won't be in trouble.
So Siem Reap food tours. Check us out. Check us out in the New York Times. Check our reviews out. It's pretty awesome.
Cool. That made me feel like I'm doing a better job because you've been in the New York Times.
Well, I was not in the New York Times. The company was.
And you take people to not lesser known spots, but like places they just wouldn't be able to go if you didn't give them the tour. That's right.
Absolutely. That's kind of the goal. We provide them with a list of places that we really like that they can go themselves. But then I take them to places that, that they may have had trouble going themselves, or if they got there, they would have had trouble ordering and knowing exactly what they should order.
You know, you come here and you want to try the traditional cuisine and everything, but it's really difficult to know, one, what that is, and two, like, how to get it. And if for example, we went and had, I can't remember the name of the soup, I'll insert it later.
The Noman Chok noodle.
But we had the like fish curry noodle soup, but there was so many different accompaniments with it that they would always have with it. Whereas if I went and ordered that on my own, Sukpon took us down there and ordered for us so that we could try it. But you'd miss out on so much. You wouldn't get the full kind of experience of what that meal would be, because you'd just go, can I have some noodles and some soup and some of this, and you'd miss out like 17 ingredients or something.
When visitors from Phnom Penh come to Siem Reap, they load up on it. They
really?
love it. Yeah. It's definitely it's a must eat for domestic tourists who come to Siem Reap.
I'm starting to get used to the prices here, but it was a mountain of food for 75 cents.
One of the reasons we really like it here, a lot of good food at good prices. It's a great dish. It's something that I'm glad Spawn took you out to, because it's something that visitors to Cambodia should definitely have at some point while they're here. And really, you should have someone with you, someone who knows their way around, who can show you all the accompaniments and can tell you a good bit about the noodles.
Why would you say it was, yeah, exactly, there you go. During the studying for your doctorate in anthropology, do you feel that you still use a lot of the things that you've learned through that in your life? Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, especially on the food tours, but really in my life. Of course, during that time, I was able to study Khmer language and begin to use it. And I also did a lot of reading about history and culture of Cambodia and the neighbors as well. And I've definitely used that on the tours, but in my daily life as well. In making friends here, it's good to know where they are coming from.
Yeah.
You know, I can speak a little bit to what happens in the Cambodian family, what the religion is like. So I feel like I have a little bit of a jump start in making friends.
Yeah, and understanding more than most sort of expats or foreigners that decide to settle here. I feel like you probably have more of an understanding of the culture than most. And from a different angle, maybe, like, as much as you can experience it, you've learned about it. So,
yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, a lot of folks who live here, a lot of expats have made a great effort to teach themselves, and they know so much, and a lot of them do speak Khmer even better than I do. But I was able to get that little bit of a jump start in my studies.
When I started the channel, I said there was no plan, and I would ask people where to go. And Siem Reap is my first stop because this was the end of a previous trip, and I really enjoyed my time here. But I had $100 left, so I made it last a week. But that was it, and I had to go. So where would you recommend? Out of anywhere in Cambodia, where should I go?
Ooh, you got to make it up to Preah Vihear if you haven't been up there.
Could you say it again?
Preah Vihear.
Preah Vihear.
It's a Angkorian temple, a Cambodian temple. That might get some discussion on your discussion board. It's right on the Thai border. It's on a cliff overlooking Cambodia, and it's incredible. A town I haven't been to in a long time that I always enjoyed going to when I would travel around Cambodia is Kratie, spelled Kratie, Kratie.
Okay.
It's a town right on the Mekong. It's a small town. It was a small town when I was there, but I haven't been there in about 15 years. It's a nice quiet town. It's a great place for bicycling up the Mekong.
Yeah. Cool.
Really some of the friendliest people you'll find.
What did you do? What are just a couple of quick-fire jobs that you did here before you started with Siem Reap Food Tours?
Let's see. I Airbnb'd rooms. I tried to make something out of that. I tried to run a tour company. I worked for a company doing like some economic research. I worked at a casino for a year down in Cambodia province, down on the Vietnam border.
I didn't know that was a possibility. Probably a terrible idea.
Yeah.
But we'll see if there's a video later on of me losing all my money.
No, it was fun. It was definitely a different experience.
Yeah.
Definitely a different experience.
So you don't regret doing the different jobs?
No, life is a whole lot of good and bad decisions, and that's kind of what got me here, and I couldn't imagine being anywhere else.
What is it you like so much about the food tours, having done it for 5 years? And I think you must be passionate about it if you're Employee of the Month 5 years running for
Pretty
a food
impressive,
tour.
huh?
Yeah, and if it's been in the New York Times, it must be a really well-established company. So if you're doing so well at that, you must be passionate about it. What is it about running the tours that you love so much?
What I love is being able to share this place that I love with other people. And I think that really comes across in the tours, that I'm giving travelers to Cambodia access to the country that I have. From taking the tour, they can see why I'm here.
Yeah.
They can understand at least the beginnings of my passion for this place.
It's such a good country, and it's a great country to come visit too. I feel like people think it's too far away from England. You have a lot of US tourists, there must be good flights. But anybody I spoke to, I'd say I'm going to Cambodia. I'm thinking, where's that? Yeah?
Right.
But I think it needs to be more, people need to be more aware of it, because it's just a great place to be. It's cheap, the weather's lovely, the people are lovely, and so polite that it's really quite obvious as soon as you get here that everybody's polite. You walk down the street, people are smiling at you, everybody says please, thank you, and it's such a lovely place to be. So if you're considering maybe a slightly longer term vacation or holiday, if you're British, 2 weeks, it's worth it to come here. If you come here for 2 weeks and you get as cheap a flights as possible, you can check out Jack's Flight Club, not mine, someone else's. Check Jack's Flight Club for the cheapest flights, or have a layover somewhere. You can get here and back for maybe £600, and then once you're here, in 2 weeks you could spend maybe, what would you say, $500? Like
as much or as little as you'd like.
As little as you want. But I think you could spend 2 weeks here and enjoy yourself, do the touristy stuff for £250 would do you. That's about $300 if you're keeping it cheap. And what does that add up to? It's like £1,000, which is how much you'll spend on a Jet2 package holiday to go to Rome for the weekend, or like to Benidorm or something. So come somewhere a little bit outside of your comfort zone. Come meet Jared and do Siem Reap food tours, get an inside look at Cambodia, and experience something that you haven't for a little bit of a different holiday, a bit more of an exciting holiday, and just an interesting place to go and find out about. Think about all your friends when you get back and say, I've been to Cambodia. They'll ask you so many questions. Tell them you go to Benidorm, they'll say, did you go to the Flamingo and have a pint? Did you see did you see Mavis perform at that club? Not that again. Have a new conversation. Come here. Thanks, man. You're so good to interview. You're like helping out with questions and stuff. Cool. First interview done. I think it went pretty well. Cheers, Jared. See you soon. Yeah, and Biolab is lovely. Search for Biolab Cafe on Google. It's just, yeah, food was great, service was great, drinks were great, atmosphere, wonderful. So now it's time to walk home and get ready to go to the circus. Unfortunately, I think you can see the police behind me, but I just missed a clip of him being lovely. So a lot of places you go to, the police kind of scowl at you a little bit. Tenerife's probably guilty of that, somewhat. Only the Nationalidad, but they do stare, you know, gruffly like this. But I just said "sustai" to that guy. He reciprocated, and a big old smile. Everyone here is so nice. Would you care to explain what you said about the Mandarin, Vietnamese, and Khmer again?
Yeah, what I was saying, and not everyone may agree with this, but through my experience, I found that Mandarin, if you get a lot of words correct, you can fudge the tone a little bit and be okay. I found that in Vietnamese, if you say a tone wrong, you're not going to be able to be understood. But if you screw up a consonant or a vowel in Khmer, you're talking about someone's genitals every time.